staying with us. That means that his friend is now seeing firsthand how bad my husband has gotten. It's prompted a lot of difficult conversations between me and the best friend, as well as between my husband and the best friend. One of those conversations was last night. Me and the best friend went to the park together since my husband didn't want to go. We talked a lot about my husband and his behavior, both venting about how differently we view him now, and pondering what can be done to help him in our marriage. His friend told me a lot of things that my husband told him. My husband said that I'm uninteresting and that he doesn't want to spend time with me. He said he has a lot in common with other women and feels more attraction towards them than me. All things that I've been suspecting, but them being confirmed deflated me. I came up with a plan to leave today. But when we got home last night, I got a migraine from the stress. My migraines are debilitating. I couldn't sleep, so I called my dad and told him everything. He opened up more options. He lives a few hundred miles away from me, but since I'm off from work for the next 3 days, he said that I could go down there and hang out with him to get away and clear my head. Or he would come up here and spend time with me. Or I could go stay with my brother, kinda far from my job and I'm allergic to his dogs. Or I could stay with my grandparents that live close to us now. I'm not sure what exactly to do, but I need to decide fast. My husband is still asleep and I'd like to be ready to go by the time he wakes up. If he sees me, then he'll try to convince me to stay. I'm so scared of everything. Edit. We've had many conversations in the last 2 years to no avail. I did leave to get some space. I'm not divorcing him, I just need time apart. No, I don't want to fuck his friend and vice versa. His friend is also my friend, although I do realize that an unspoken boundary was crossed and I apologized profusely. The last thing I wanted to do was drive a wedge between him and his best friend. He does have ADHD and bipolar disorder and is currently mostly unmedicated and has no drive to better his situation. I've grown tired of it is all.
First person in my life passed away and I don't know how to handle it. My 19F stepdad, 35, passed away in mid-July. I've known him since I was 8 and he was the father figure in my life. I do know my real dad and I've met him, but he lives in a different state and doesn't contact me, but that's okay cuz is not the best father. My stepdad has a daughter too, 14, who lives with her mum now but lived with him way he was around. When things were rough with me and my mum, I'd hang out with him. We really bonded since I turned 16 cuz a lot of stuff was going on at the time and he was there for me. He even came to my high school graduation. I loved him as my father figure, but I saw him as a friend too, which made it easier to express my problems to him. He really helped me during my bad times and kind of morphed me into who I am now. He was a great dad to his daughter too. They were 2 peas in a pod lol. My stepdad died unexpectedly. I was at work when my mum, 40, came in and told me in person that she just saw him and he was gone. Since then, I haven't really been feeling the same. What's making this harder is not knowing how he passed away. We don't have a report yet. From what I was told, it doesn't sound like natural causes, and he was a functioning alcoholic and he never went to the doctor, so we're literally just waiting to know what happened at this point. This is the first person in my life who's passed away. I've never had to handle death before, and watching shows about it didn't prepare me at all. I know about the 5 stages of grief and I've felt all of them, but TBH I just don't know how to cope with the fact that he's just gone now. He used to be at my house all the time and filled it with so much life, and now the house feels empty, quiet, unlike before. I'm trying to accept it, but whenever I hear something that reminds me of him, I just cry. My mum is the same way. She was with him for 10 years. How can I make this easier? I want to heal from this and I only think I am because time keeps going, but I don't feel any real healing inside me. I still feel broken whenever I think about him. Sometimes I cry right when I wake up. Sometimes I feel guilty. It feels like I took away some of the experiences his kid will never get now. I know I'm not to blame, but I can't help it. It's in these moments when I wish he was here too, which only makes this harder sometimes.
My partner's mother despises me because I won't give him children. My boyfriend and I, 21M plus 21F, plan to spend the rest our lives together and to live child-free. I could dedicate an entire post to the reasons we don't want kids, the noise, the messiness, the money, the time, etc., but the point is that we are very firm in our beliefs and on the same page. His mother, however, is not. She has never liked me. She has an extremely unhealthy attachment to him, think quintessential boy mom, despite her having a daughter too, and has always seen me as the evil witch stealing her precious baby boy away from her. The time and attention he diverts from her to me, which is a considerable amount, has cemented this view of me. Despite that, I've tried to build a relationship with her, seeing as she'll be in my life for a long time. No luck yet. A month or so ago, when I was out to lunch with her, I'll call her G, and my BF, I'll call him B, the topic of iPad kids got brought up. I remember saying, I never ever want kids, but if I had them, I'd never let them play on their devices all throughout dinner. She said nothing, and I thought nothing of it. Apparently, after B and I returned home, she called him and said that I shattered her heart, because she's given up on her other child giving her grandchildren, and with a wife like me she'll have no hope left. I can't help but think that she'll hate me forever over this if nothing else. I don't owe you children. I don't owe anyone children. I don't owe any child I may bear unwillingly my motherhood. Your son loves me. He loves you, but he also loves me. You need to get the fuck over it.
Being ugly is a blessing. I'm coming to terms as I grow older that I am ugly and people are overall unkind to ugly people. They have no shame in disparaging me in every social context there is, often, for no reason, and for no fault of mine, except my look. Recently I have been changing my looks, changed hair, trying to dress better, which drew their attention, and their mockery. You know what? I'm fine with it. Beautiful people are surrounded by people, sure it seems nice, but you never know if they are faking it or if they have some hidden jealousy of you. Being ugly and knowing that I am ugly made me a hard-working person, and when I get a praise, I know I deserve it, and it's not some empty flattering. My dad is removing me from school because I ate meat. English is not my first language. Sorry for the mistakes. I have been in homeschool for my entire life until this year. Last week I finally started at a normal school after I have been begging from my dad to let me try it for months. He finally allowed me to go. I'm 13 but the people in my class are 12 years old because I am in the one below the normal grade for my age. I have been raised a vegan all my life and I have never had meat before, but I decided that I would save some money up while I could and try some meat while at school. It was just one slice of cheese and pepperoni pizza that the school cafe was providing. I didn't yet decide that I was going to give up being vegan or anything. I solely wanted to try it out and see what it was like. Specifically because the people in my grade don't like me very much yet, probably because I am strange but I cannot help it. I didn't want them to think I was weird and they invited for me to sit with them and they all had the pizza slices so I just tried one with them. However, my cousin who was in the grades above told his mother who told my dad that I was eating meat at school. My dad went crazy. He came to the school and shouted at the teachers and said that I was not allowed to have any meat and they just said that I had purchased it with my money and that I could choose what to eat. But now my dad goes crazy at me and yelling and screaming. He now says that he cannot trust me at the school or trust my teachers to follow his rules. My dad is very strict and I was hoping for school to be an option for me to have some time away from him, some time to just relax. He didn't even want me to go, and even though I think school has been difficult for me I don't want to give it up, but now my dad is saying he won't let me go back to the school until I sign a contract that says I promise not to ever eat meat again. I refused to sign it and said that my dad is being silly, but now he will not allow me into school. This happened yesterday and he did not allow me to go in today. I feel very guilty that I have broken his trust and now I think I have ruined my chances at going to a normal school.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share and subscribe for more Reddit videos.